What's up, guys? The Snowman here, back with yet another soccer football informative video. Today we're going to look at the international football transfer window. The same format is used by all the big European leagues, most of the other top soccer leagues around the world. We'll take a look at what the transfer window is, how long it lasts, what it means, all the basics. Quick definition: the transfer window is simply a period of time throughout the year where football clubs can sell or add players to their squad from other teams. To complete the transfer, the new player is registered through FIFA. So FIFA, the common regulator here, but of course there's so many soccer leagues around the world, so not every league does it quite the exact same way. Just think of the transfer window as a designated time when teams can buy and sell each other's players. In terms of the transfer window schedule, it does depend on the specific league, but most leagues have a relatively similar schedule. If you didn't know, most major football leagues commence their seasons in the second half of the calendar year. For example, the Premier League in England always begins in August and then runs through the following May. Almost all the top leagues in Europe adopt a similar schedule, so because of that, they have two transfer windows throughout the year, a larger one over the summer in between seasons and a shorter one about midway through the season. For our top leagues in countries like England, Spain, Germany, Italy, France, etc., this is typically sometime from around July 1st through September 1st, so pretty much all of July and August, most leagues have the opportunity to buy and sell players. They also have a mid-season transfer window in January that takes place from January 1st through the end of the month. For leagues like the MLS in the United States or countries like Mexico, Brazil, Argentina, a lot of the top leagues in the Western Hemisphere have their seasons run from March-ish to October or November. Since their season is set up that way, their transfer windows are the opposite of those major European leagues. Instead of a brief window in January, leagues like the MLS have a more lengthy transfer window in January, February, and or March, while they have a shorter one midway through the season in July or August that's typically only 1 month. Essentially, all leagues have one transfer window in the summer, sometime during June, July, August, and sometime in the winter, January, February, March. It just depends when the league actually has their off-season break. That's when the longer of the two transfer windows will take place. So how do transfers in world football work? They're much different than trades in American sports leagues like the NFL, NBA, or Major League Baseball. Most of the time in those leagues, you're either trading players for players or players for draft picks. Every year in the NFL or NBA, there's a draft where teams take turns selecting the top college or rookie players from a player pool. You can trade those draft picks to other teams based on whether you're prioritizing short-term or long-term success. Well, in soccer, there's no trades like that. There's no drafts from year to year. Most footballers start off with a club team through academies or youth programs. Football transfers are simply a player for financial compensation. Clubs trade players for money or vice versa. Typically, there's three main stages that make up a transfer. Number one is that Club A talks with Club B and they negotiate a transfer fee for the player. They come up with an agreement that's acceptable to both the buying team and the selling team. Once that happens, the buying team and the player get together to sort out personal terms. The player and his agent will negotiate the player's contract. If they want to add any years on top of an existing contract or increase the weekly wage of the player, any bonuses or incentives, all of this has to be agreed upon by the player, or else that first step of the two clubs agreeing on a transfer fee is null and void. Step 3, if the transfer fee and player contract details are agreed upon, is the medical. The player switching teams will undergo a physical, and if everything checks out and no information was withheld throughout the process, then the player will officially play for his new team. So again, a transfer happens whenever two clubs agree on the terms of a sale, the buying club agrees on a contract with the player, and a medical is passed. And just because we have these transfer windows in the summer and winter when the deals take place, there's no tampering rules like in the NBA. Clubs and agents are constantly in talks throughout the year, even during the season. The actual transaction, though, has to occur during a window. Because of this, you'll never see, say, a Premier League team acquire a player in October or November. And here's a quick look at the top 20 most expensive transfers of all time as of 2023. You can see a lot of these have occurred in the last few years, but number one, a 25-year-old Neymar transferring from Barcelona Barcelona to Paris Saint-Germain in 2017 for 222 million euros. I look at the other transfers highlighted in yellow. Those are other deals that broke the world football transfer record at the time of the transfer. So Paul Pogba in 2016, and then a couple of Real Madrid men, Gareth Bale for 100 million in 2013, and the great Cristiano Ronaldo moving from Man U to Madrid all the way back in 2009. Seems like ages ago. You can see on this list, most of them are interleague transfers, meaning a player going from one league to a completely new one. That's why the uniform transfer windows are vital. This is how the best of the best in football switch clubs and leagues every single season. Thanks a lot for watching my transfer window explained video. Leave a comment if you still have questions, and if you're enjoying the soccer and football coverage, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the Snowman Sports Media for not only soccer content, but basketball, tennis, and plenty other sports as well. Cheers!